Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to BioBuddy, and in this new video we will be moving forward with the next topic of our chapter diversity in living organisms, right? So in the previous video we had started with our new chapter, that is diversity, and we have completed part 1, that is basic introduction of that chapter, right? Now in this video we will be moving forward with the basis of classification. Right? In the previous video I had told you about the terms like what is classification, why do we need classification, what is taxonomy, who gave the term taxonomy, and what is the meaning of the term taxonomy, right? Everything we had studied in the previous video. So if you have not watched that video, please go and watch that video and then we can come back to the next video, right? So now I will be starting with the basis of classification, right? I have written all the things already on the blackboard. Now I will be starting, this is the whiteboard, so I have written all the things on the whiteboard, and now we will be starting with the basis of classification, right? I hope everybody is leaned in this video. You have your pens ready with your notebooks. Let's get started, right? So basis of classification. In the last video I told you what is classification. Basically grouping the organisms on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities into various groups, right? So that is known as classification. Now we are asking the basis of classification. Basis means on what basis are we classifying, right? On what factors are we classifying that particular organism into a particular group, okay, right? So there were two things that happened. Okay, first was the ancient classification, that means it was the first one to come, right? Ancient classification, right? And second was the modern classification. Okay, so ancient classification was done by a person called Aristotle. Okay, I hope all of you know about Aristotle. You must have heard about Aristotle, right? So Aristotle gave the ancient classification, right? But on what basis did he classify? He said it is very simple. You will classify the organisms into two groups, plants and animals. Simple. He gave it, and somebody asked on what basis are we classifying the plants? So he said we will classify the plants on the basis of their stem, right? If the stem is green in color, it is a herb. If the stem is brown in color but many in number, it will be shrubs. But if it is having a tall stem, a big thick stem that is brown in color, that will be referred to as trees. Simple. Then he also said that animals can be classified into three groups on the basis of their habitat. Habitat means a place where the organism lives. Okay, if you want you can write down the definition of habitat Habitat means a place where the organism lives, or you can see the dwelling place of an organism, that is known as habitat. Okay, so animals, they were classified on the basis of their habitat. Air dwellers, land dwellers, water dwellers. Means the animals which live in the air, the animals which live in the land, animals which live under the water. So this is how we classified. But then various things were left. The microorganisms, they were not being classified into any groups. There were no groupism of viruses, bacteria, fungi. Where do all these things go then? So eventually this theory was rejected. Okay, this theory was rejected. This classification was rejected, which was given by Aristotle. Then what came? Then a need for new classification came. So there was a scientist called as Robert Whittaker. Robert H. Whittaker. Okay, what did he give it? He gave the modern classification, right? So what he said that he will be classifying the organisms on the basis of three types. First is their cellular organization, how their cells are arranged or how their cells are there inside their bodies. That is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Two groups he gives, right? Prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So a prokaryotic cell is a type of cell in which the nucleus is not very well defined. Nucleus is not very well defined. DNA is scattered. Okay, it does not have a well defined structure. Prokaryotes. But in eukaryotes, what happened, The structure is very well defined, and the nucleus is placed in a particular area. So that is known as prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So he said that if the organism is prokaryotic, he gave this theory that is cellular organization. Two categories are there. If the cell has well-defined nucleus, it will come in the category of eukaryotes. If the cell is not having a well-defined nucleus, it will come in the category of prokaryotes. Then second basis of classification was body organization, beta. How their bodies are organized, whether they are unicellular, whether they are multicellular. Okay. So unicellular, the name is only telling you unicellular means one single cell. Multicellular means many cells. Okay. Then food source, autotrophic, heterotrophic, simple. Autotrophic mode of nutrition means that they are obtaining their own food with the help of sunlight. They are preparing their own food. Whereas heterotrophic means they are dependent on other organisms for their food. Okay. So this was the basis of classification which was given by Robert Whittaker. Okay. Now इवेंचुअली बेटा बहुत लोगों ने बहुत सारी थ्योरीज दी, बहुत सारी क्लासिफिकेशन दी. जैसे यहाँ पे आई हैव रिटन द क्लासिफिकेशन टू किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन, then 5 kingdom, then 6 kingdom. But eventually 3 kingdom also came, 4 kingdom also came, but they were not given so much importance like the 5 kingdom classification was given. So beta, the first one was the 2 kingdom classification, right? This was given by Carolus Linnaeus in 1758. Okay, he said that दो groups में divide हो जाएगा, animals and plant, or animalia and plantae. Then Robert Whittaker in 1969 recently he gave that a 5 kingdom classification should be there, and in 5 kingdom classification he said that he will be dividing the 5 groups into the following names. First one is Monera, second is Protista, third is your fungi, fourth plantae, and fifth is animalia. We will be studying these in detail, so no need to worry that ma'am ये Monera क्या चीज है, ये क्या नई चीज आ गई है. So don't be scared. We will be studying these in the further chapters. Okay, in the further topics that we will be covering in this chapter. Then 6 kingdom classification came, which was given by Carl Woese in 1977. So इस किंगडम में क्या था कि बेटा मोनेरा में सारे के सारे बैक्टीरिया होते थे. Okay, सारे के सारे बैक्टीरियाज वर केप्ट इन मोनेरा. बट देन केम कि बैक्टीरियाज को तो हमने रख दिया, बट वायरसेस, फंजाई, ये सब कहाँ आएगा. फंजाई के लिए भी उन्होंने बोल दिया था कि फंजाई के किंगडम आ गया है, फंजाई का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सिस्टम आ गया है. बट लेटर ऑन Carl Woese said that Monera is also further divided into 2 groups, that is Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. So Archaebacteria are the bacteria which were found in severe conditions, like in very cold climatic conditions or in hot springs. They were found in those type of places. So the bacteria which were found in the extreme conditions, they were coming in the category of Archaebacteria. And Eubacteria is a true bacteria. That means it can be present anywhere. Right? Like microbes we see all around us. We can't see them with the naked eyes obviously, but whenever we look them under the microscope, then we will definitely observe that all in our surroundings there are microorganisms which are surrounding us. Right? So the Eubacteria was a true bacteria. That means the bacteria which are found everywhere. Okay, then Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia. This was the basic grouping which was done by Carl Woese. He gave the 6 kingdom classification. Fine. So till now in this chapter we have covered the basis of classification, what was done in the ancient, what was done in the modern classification, what was the basis of their classifying, who discovered them, and who gave these 2 kingdom, 5 kingdom, 6 kingdom classification, and how did it classify into the types of organism. Okay, now in the next video beta we will be covering up how Robert Whittaker eventually came to a conclusion that he will be giving this 5 kingdom classification in detail. Right? So till now, if any problem in this topic beta, you can put in the comment section below, we can discuss it. Right? I will give you the answers there and then. So make sure you are studying this chapter thoroughly by these videos and through your NCERTs or any additional books that you have, and ask any problem, any questions, right? So I hope everything is clear in this video beta, right? And we will be continuing in the next video. Till then, take care. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. right? I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care. Beta.